Good morning. This is Daniel Bennis, and I am in the wood shop working on magic wands. That's right, I am actually making some magic wands right now. I will show you some of the ones I've already made, show you the one I'm working on right now, some of the tools that I'm using to make these, the wood lathe, the setup, and I'll actually demonstrate very quickly a couple of the tools actually removing wood from a spinning blank chucked into a lathe, spinning at 2,000 RPM. All right, here we go. So here's some of the ones I've already made. You could see that they're quite different from each other. They all kind of serve a purpose. They all have a story of their own. They are all my own design with the exception of one. This is my own version, a replica of the Elder Wand from the Harry Potter series. So you can see that it's very intricate. It's got a lot of hand carving. Those are each and every single one of those are holes, and those right there represent elderberries, which give it its power. The wand has a very unusual core. If you break this wand open, Enya flies out. That's all I know. All right, so those are some of the wands that I've got right there. Now the wand I'm working on right now is a brand new wand. I actually drew the prototype up of this last year, right before Halloween. I created my very first one yesterday. I'm working on the third one now. This is called the Sapling. You can see it's got two elderberries as well, so it's kind of like the younger brother of the Elder Wand. This is my own design. When it's done, it's going to look similar to that right there. You can see there's the description of the Elder Wand, some of the other ones that I've done. Then I went back in using that first one and created a second one. So now I actually have two of these. They're pretty much identical. Now I'm actually working on a third one, and I'll use that as my example. And I'll show you a couple tools, and I'll show you an actual process of me removing wood from a spinning blank. All right, first of all, quick little tour here. So there's my floor model wood lathe. Multiple speeds and all kinds of good stuff like that. An inexpensive wood lathe. I've gotten really good results with it. I can do really intricate things with it. It all comes down to how you use it. You can spend thousands of dollars, or you can spend half $1,000 and get one like this. All right, some of my tools, all kinds of various tools and things. Some more tools over there. Tools of the trade. Nice big floor drill press, which I will not be using right now. All right, so this is the blank that I start out with right here for this particular wand. Poplar. It's a large dowel. So here's a quick tour of some of the tools I'm using right now. This heavy-duty tool is called a roughing gouge. You can see that it's pretty substantial. It's used for removing large amounts of material at once. And then we've got a skew chisel. This is a large blade. It's incredibly sharp. I could shave with that right there. I could actually make an entire wand with a skew chisel. It's a frightening tool. If you don't use it right, it can catch and literally destroy your piece of wood in a second. And if you have any question as to what that looks like or feels like when it happens, this is an example of a wand. Actually, I have two of them here. Two examples of wands that I actually destroyed when I was first making these. You can see right there that guy took a direct catch and just destroyed the wand right in front of my face. This one, same thing. That's actually a separate wand, and you can see that it just destroyed itself. Oh, by the way, all that is some wood burning. Practicing some of my wood burning. Then we've got like a small, like a fingernail gouge. It's designed for getting into tight places, things like that. Then I have a very special type of fingernail gouge. This is a unique style. It's incredibly sharp. This right here will carve right through wood, flesh, whatever. High-speed steel. And that's what I'm actually using right now to make all of my beads and my little coves right there. Last but not least, a parting tool. These are big tools, by the way. They're very long. Allow you to get in there and have good leverage. This is a parting tool. This is used to actually, I use it to actually square sections off, get them nice and square. You can use it to dig down in and actually remove a piece of wood. I hand sharpen all of my own tools right here on this belt sander. This is a belt sander that I've ground all the grit off of. It's basically just nothing right now. I will turn it on, wet my fingers, stick my fingers behind it, and then I can guide the belt. And I will hold the tool in a downward fashion, and that's how I can get like a razor edge on these. And if you aren't careful, you will actually melt the skin on your fingers. I have no fingerprints on either one of those. Alright, and so you can see right here, drawing the outline of this particular wand, I've drawn a couple of marks to represent, there we go, to represent the coves and beads. So I'm going to grab a pencil, turn this puppy on, and draw these out just by holding the pencil to it. Here we go. So now it's spinning, and I'm going to take my pencil here and draw my line in. And the second line, there we go. And my third line. And when I turn it off, it's they go completely around the piece of wood. Now I'll actually come in here and start parting these. But I'm going to turn this on now and show you the roughing gouge and show you what it looks like when it's working. So here we go. One-handed, I'm going to take off some of the material here. Okay, so there we are. A little bit of the roughing gouge. The next tool, I'm going to use the fingernail gouge here. This is a scary tool as well if you're not careful with it, but it works really well. So in this case, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put a couple little coves in right here, and I'm going to round this edge over. This is one bead, one elderberry. I'm going to round that over. The only way I can do that, I cannot do that one-handed. I need a lot of control. I'm actually going to have to wrap my hand around the back of this wood dowel, because when you're digging into a piece of wood like this, it can catch on the fibers and start chattering. It can actually vibrate when it's really thin, a thin spindle. I have to put my fingers behind this, so that's what I'll do. Put my fingers behind it, hold it in place. Not with so much pressure that I melt my skin, but if you hold onto this too tight, you will. You also run the risk of driving splinters all the way to the bone. If this thing were to break in your hand, you may have a spindle. I may have a magic wand coming through the top of my hand, but that's not going to happen. So here we go. I'm going to turn this puppy on, and I'm going to use the weight of the cell phone of my iPhone here to hold this down, because it needs to be held down right about where my fingers are here. This is all going to be one-handed. We'll see what happens. It'll be a very close view. It might be fuzzy, but we'll see. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of the material right here. All right, here we go. Push my luck, but you can see I've made a cove there, and I've got my hand wrapped around it once again. I'll show you what that looks like. And I'm holding the iPhone right here, and then using the parting tool. It's not pleasant. Okay, here we go. I'm going to round this bead over and turn it into the beginning of an elderberry. Here we go. Normally I have a whole lot more control on that, but when you're doing it one-handed and holding an iPhone, it doesn't work well. My fingers are really warm right now, so I'm going to give them a break, and then I'm going to get back in here and actually do this the right way. Alright, hope you enjoyed that. By the way, all these wands will be for sale. I'm actually making them one at a time. They're all custom made. customize them to some extent as well, with wood burning, painting, special stains, things like that. I can do that. So I am selling them. I will post photos and prices. And I hope you have a great day. And take care. God bless you. Hey, this is Daniel again, and I have one last thing to show you. So the wand that I was working on, which is the sapling wand, is done. It's the third one that I've made now. And here it is in the lathe, all chucked in. You can see that it is very, very smooth. I've already sanded it. I'm ready to remove it, but I'm going to show you how I sand it while it's still in the lathe. You can see that I've already cut the end here and the tip down to almost nothing, so that will just almost snap right out of there. But the first thing I will do is I will prepare this for sanding, and that means removing the tool rest. So the tool rest is now removed, and I will replace that with a tool extension. That goes right up in there like so, and you can see that I've already run a shop vac hose with a wide attachment on it right there. I'm going to lock this in right down underneath here under the bulk of this. Lock it in place. I now have a suction port right there that will suck about 99% of all my sawdust right in here. Even so, even with the vac, I still will be wearing a dust mask. This is a very good dust mask because I care about my lungs. I don't wear those stupid paper masks. It leaks around the edges. It's not worth it. If it lets 10% in through the corners, after an hour you've let 100% of what something like this would have locked out. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and start the lathe up here. I will turn the shop back on. I will lower the speed down to something manageable and use this sandpaper. By the way, to get my finish almost to the point of sanding, I actually use a very, very sharp skew chisel, and I actually take off the wood to the point where it is almost smooth without sanding, and then I finish it with some sandpaper. Here we go. So, I now have shop back on, and here we go. Start this puppy up. There we go. It's now spinning a little bit slower. Put my dust mask on. It is now completely sanded. I was just demonstrating. The thing was already done. Now I will cut the wand free with a hand scroll saw here, and everything is really slick now with sawdust everywhere. I will hand sand the ends and get them down to match the rest of the wand. Then from that point I can hand carve it, paint it, stain it, whatever I want to do. Use the Dremel tool with a diamond bit. Whatever feels right. Alright, hope you have a great day. Blessings. God bless you. Be safe. Talk to you later. Bye.